We are up nice and early for Elite Division hockey on this Sunday morning as the Florida Eels head south to Estero for a 9:15 a.m. tilt against the Florida Junior Blades. Hello, everybody, and welcome into the Florida Eels Broadcast Network. Nick Rush giving you the play-by-play from Hertz Arena. And as puck drop is moments away, let's take a look at the starting lineups for each team. We begin with the hosting Florida Junior Blades with a 2-14-0-1 record. They're starting out Jack Williams and Jack Klunk on the defensive line. And there are three forwards for puck drop: Derek Hambling, Rory Nish, and Nolan Manicki. Riley Shepard gets the nod in between the pipes today on the Blade side. For the visiting Eels with a 7-4-3 record, Vincent Cartier and Peter Haas will start out on the defense. Anthony Zebley, Matthew Ryu, and Landon Engels will be the starting forwards. Thomas Schubert will be the starting goaltender. National anthem just moments away, so we will step aside and come back with the opening puck drop and the play-by-play of the action here on the second game of this two-game weekend between the Eels and the Junior Blades. Eels won last night 4-0, so the Blades look for redemption on home ice. We'll be back after this. Welcome back to Hertz Arena, where the national anthem is concluded, and we are set for this elite-level bout between the Florida Eels and the Florida Junior Blades. The Eels will skate from right to left across your computer screen, donning their road green jerseys with the black trim along the shoulders, white numbering on the back, black pants, green socks, and black helmets. The Junior Blades will move from left to right in their home white jerseys, dark green trim down the sides, blue numbering on the back, blue pants, white socks, and black helmets. So we're ready for the back half of this weekend series. Florida Eels won last night 4-0. Junior Blades looking for the split here on home ice. It'll be Anthony Zebley in the draw for the Eels. And he comes out victorious as we are underway. Matthew Ryu sputters the puck ahead to the opposing blue line, and Vincent Cartier will grab after it. He goes down the left wing dasher towards the Junior Blades goaltender Riley Shepard, but he elects to rim the puck around the back wall. Along the far side, hash marks. Big 2-on-2 scramble for it, set loose by Landon Engels. Engels goes tape to tape with Matthew Ryu along the near side of the goal line. Ryu trying to switch with Peter Haas. Klunk able to jump in away as he tries to create the turnover for the Blades. Manicki dueling for it along the far side half boards. He locks skates with Peter Haas, and it's Engels rescuing the puck along the right side of the blue line. Engels jumps into the far circle, steers the puck into the high slot, and he is taken off of it by Derek Hambling. Hambling skirts his way in front of the Florida Eels bench where another four-man jam ensues. Off to the races for the Florida Eels is Anthony Zebley. Left side and a goal. It was a very odd chipper coming in, but it goes over the left glove of Shepard and in. It's 1-0 Eels, 1 minute into the game. And that shot was taken from a very sharp angle by Jake Carlson, who missed the past couple of games with the Eels, but he's back for his third matchup. And boy, is he already off to a hot start. It's his third game, and that's his fourth goal of the 2020-2021 campaign. Carlson, a former member of the Junior Blades Premier team where he competed last season. As the public address announcement is made, that goal goes unassisted for Carlson. Bailey Kaiser down the far dasher and behind the cage of Schubert. Puck goes high and into the mesh netting behind the goaltender Schubert in his second game with the Florida Eels. He made his debut last night and ended up perfect, stopping all 29 shots that went his way. So as a result, he has a perfect goals against average and save percentage. Off to my left, you have the Junior Blades goaltender Riley Shepard. It's his fifth game in between the pipes on the season. He has an 0-2 starting record of .529 goals against average, along with an .868 save percentage. Junior Blades work their way into the attacking zone, down the near glass, and an offside is called against the Blades. Just underway, 1 minute 40 seconds into regulation, 1-0 Eels lead, with the opening marker coming 1:01 into the first from Jake Carlson. This draw will come to the right side of Thomas Schubert. Long distance blast coming from Pizzola along the far point. He pushes the puck over the crossbar. Relayed to Vasquez along the near side of the point. And his slapper goes high and over the end glass. So frequent stoppages open up the play, very similar to last night's game 1 of the weekend across town at the Fort Myers Stadium. We'll go back to the near wing where the Junior Blades win another faceoff. Woodridge forks it forward, but the puck is engulfed in traffic. Back along the far corner, Jacob Gusty getting his first touch up of the day, but he is denied by Nate Hedrick, the former Junior Blades elite player. Hedrick dancing his way across the middle circle. He's picked off by Vasquez at the Junior Blades blue line. Vasquez drifts his way into the right circle. Give and go to Jacob Gusty, and the biscuits popped out of midair to Henry Ward. Ward moves his way, low slot. Vasquez with a slap shot, and that's taken off of the left leg pad to Shepard. Angles for the rebounder, and he misses a mile away, wide right. Gusty bangs it out to center in front of the penalty box boards. A little 2-on-2 in front of the Eels bench. It's set loose by Pablo Palos as he heads off in a line change. The Eels coming out with a brand new 5 men as the Blades hang back in their own zone along the near end wall. It's Isaac Vasquez quarterbacking a brand new drive for the Blades. His pass goes errant and on to the tape of Vincent Cartier. Cartier treads across the enemy blue line, delayed offside against the Eels, so it is Blades puck once again. Peters at the center red, dueling with Jordan Jeffords. Peters withdraws into his own right circle. Ciro Calvanese handling out in the neutral zone. He scored a goal in last night's 4-0 Eels victory against the Blades. It was his second marker of the season. For hash marks, Jordan Jeffords taped the tape with Nola Manicki. Manicki stashes the puck into the Junior Blades end zone along the left wing side. Vincent Cartier escaping out to the middle of the rink. He's onside with a 2-on-2. Drop pass goes awry as it's confiscated by Alex Broadhead. Broadhead sweeps the puck out in front of the Junior Blades bench, scattered away by Zach Sembro to the near corner. Another wholesale edit to the lines by the Florida Eels with 16:13 to go in the first. 1-0 Eels lead. Empty puck in the low slot. Backhander on. And Riley Shepard puts the mitt on top of the biscuit for the blow of the whistle. Florida Eels benches gained the energy rolling in the early goings. They sit off to my right. Junior Blades to my left. Face off against the left wing dasher in the Junior Blades own zone. Anthony Zebley versus Nolan Manicki. And Manicki comes out big for the Blades. He tries for the clearing attempt. Angles denies him at the midpoint. Junior Blades clear on the second attempt. Jeremy Pizzola getting around the right side of Thomas Schubert, the Eels netminder today. Backhanded pass whiffed on, and Ryu fans the puck back out across the neutral zone. Could be a breakaway for Peter Haas. He's all alone. Sharp angle blast doesn't reach the net from the right corner. Far side of the end wall. Zebley clattering back and forth with Klunk. This pass goes awry and all the way back down to the Eels zone. Thomas Schubert will freeze the puck along the near goal line. Henry Ward retrieves it and scatters the puck back out to neutral. Matthew Ryu held up from behind by Smith. And the Junior Blades will have a couple more moments on their own side of the ice. Delayed offside against the Eels. So they'll take a couple of moments for a line change. Now 5 minutes into the first period. Eels lead in shots on goal, 3-0. And they are 1-0 on the official score. Max Steck with an outstretched pass. Peyton Donica able to get something working for the Eels, but not for long, as there's another turn away in front of the Junior Blades bench. Unattended disc along the left corner, rimmed up the opposing side and back out to mid-rink, where Vincent Cartier waits. Cartier feeding it to Vasquez. Vasquez into the right circle, hammers one on, save made. Rebound on the other side, will not go, as Riley Shepard gets the windmill motion in effect. He's not able to secure the puck, however, as here's a clearance by the Junior Blades into the attacking zone. Far side half boards. It's Vincent Cartier stabbing the puck to the right point and back out to center. Isaac Vasquez bouncing the puck around as it's pinballed to Cartier, and Cartier loses his stick in the fray. Puck transformed behind the cage. Peyton Donica trying to go square one for the Eels. A little scramble for it along the right corner. Littered out in front, but it is not cleanly played by Derek Hambling, who is looking for the one-time drive uncontested. Vasquez gets intercepted by Jack Williams at the Junior Blades blue line. The two teams exchange possessions with one another. Rory Nish cruising into the Junior Blades end zone, and he's held up around the back wall. Far point for Jack Klunk. Klunk, he gets the puck putted away. Carlson on the breakaway. Low slot forehander, and he had too much pressure behind it. Rebound coming from the sharp angle, and that hits Shepard in the face mask. Carlson very close for finding his second goal of the game. Peters getting tripped up at the middle circle. Eels benches win the call, but it will not come their way. Carlson relaying his way around Schubert's cage, and he throws the puck back out to center ice. Matthew Cliff surrounded by three different Junior Blades. He's still able to hang on to the far goal line. Tatters a shot on, and Jacob Gusty starts up something for the Blades at the center red. Bailey Kaiser with another touch-up. He goes tape to tape with Woodridge. Woodridge flashes one forward. Save made by Schubert. Rebound gets blockered away. Into the right corner, Jeremy Pizzola backs up out the center. He's contested by Caleb Harrop. Harrop sends it deep along the goal line left side. Massive collision on to Nate Hedrick. Tried to find a man out in front, but nobody was home, and an Eels green and black uniform. Jeremy Pizzola cleanly enters the Junior Blades attacking ice, but Cartier strips the puck loose. Cartier, along the near hash marks, curls his way behind the cage, looking for the wraparound, but no space to work with. Rebounder coming from Hedrick, point blank, and Shepard tucks it into his pads. 1-0 Eels lead with 11:57 on the first period clock. Eels dominating offensively as they lead in shots on net 7-2 up to this point. We'll have a face-off along the right wing in the Junior Blade zone. It's sputtered back along the corner. Played along the end boards by Tyler Entwistle, one of the newest additions of this Junior Blade squad. Cyril Calvanese cruising into the left circle, and he finds himself in a four-man board battle. Junior Blades come racing across the middle circle. Paulos gets double-teamed between a pair of men, but he has some insurance in the form of Vincent Cartier at the Eels blue line. Henry Ward going head-to-head with Jordan Jeffords in the near hash marks of the Eels end zone. Left wing corner, Hedrick pokes it up top to Ward. He's not able to keep it across the point. Ward butts his way out to center as he reaches out to Peyton Donica. Donica going wide side to Ciro Calvanese along the near side of the neutral ice. Both team benches making some noise in this rivalry hockey game. Now 9 minutes into the opening period. Junior Blades looking for the equalizing goal, trailing 1-0. Jordan Jeffords banks the puck off the far dasher, held behind the cage by Schubert, the Florida Eels goaltender. Racketed up towards the right point, Broadhead gets robbed by Calvanese. Calvanese twirls towards the high slot, and the Eels get a clearance with Trevor Bass. Bass with an outstretched pass, and Jack Williams takes advantage. Scattering a shot on from the halfway marker of the rink. That's an easy stoppage by Schubert, who keeps the action rolling. Scramble along the left wing half boards. Donica behind the net. Williams receiving a shove from Zach Simbro, who sends it up but not out. From the midpoint, Steck with a slap shot. That gets engulfed in traffic. Rebounder doesn't happen from Klunk along the right side of the blue line. Eels wedge the disc back out to center in front of the penalty box boards, but the Junior Blades litter it back into the offensive zone, I should say. Physical play starting to pick up along the end boards. as the Florida Eels look for another clearance. And we have your first penalty of the game. This is an interference call as a Junior Blades player is shaken up in the corner. That is Cole Smith. And the Florida Eels head to the penalty kill. So the Junior Blades are off to the man advantage, their first of the day. They have a power play percentage of 19.2 coming into the day. The Eels' penalty kill sits at 72%. This faceoff comes to Schubert's right. Faceoff won by the Blades. Along the far hash marks, you have an interception coming from Vincent Cartier, and the puck squirts onto the Eels' ice. So the puck ricochets onto the Florida Eels bench, and we will redo the draw from here. Eels win the draw, and it's flooded down the length of the ice by Vincent Cartier. Shepard comes out of his net to play it along the near post. Strung back out to center for Matt Woodridge. Woodridge hammering his way into the far circle. Curls behind the cage looking for a man open out front. He hooks the puck to Jacob Gusty along the right side. Gusty moves his way up to the point, and he has the puck ricocheted by Matthew Ryu. Caromed all the way down to Shepard, and the Eels get a line change with 1:17 to spare on their penalty kill. Jacob Gusty takes the Junior Blades on another ride out to neutral ice. Gusty down the near glass and into the offensive end for the Blades. He muscles one on to Schubert, and Schubert gets his blocker in motion. Sharp angle feeder, unsuccessful from Jeremy Pizzola, and Zebley sends it 200 feet down to Shepard. Junior Blades with 48 seconds to spare on their power play. First period clock reads 8 minutes, 28 seconds in this 1-0 game for the Eels. Woodridge loses his footing along the far point, and the Blades struggle for puck possession. Bailey Kaiser keeps the momentum rolling in the left wing circle. Carlson finesses it back to the center red. Carlson, from the halfway marker of the rink, slams one into the right corner. Carlson takes a hit from behind by Rory Nish as the Junior Blades get a breather on their own side of the rink. 12 seconds left until we see Peyton Donica vacate the sin bin for the Eels. Rory Nish going wide side at the point to Bailey Kaiser, and Peters fishes it away up but not out. Clunk far point. That does it for the penalty. Eels survive their first PK of the day, as here's a point blanker coming on the way from Rory Nish. Third time not the charm, and Matthew Clift wheels the disc back out to neutral. Eels could have a 3-on-2 if they hurry. Clift down the right side, forks one on, but Shepard creates the rejection. Rebounder not able to arrive from Matthew Clift, and Cartier looks to re-enter the Eels' offensive zone. Harrop onside to the high slot. He has Clift streaking down in between the rings. Harrop tries for a chance of his own, and the puck sails out of play into the mesh netting. So we approach the final 7 minutes of the first period. Junior Blades not able to tie up the game off of the man advantage. Let's introduce you to the head coaches today for the Eels. It is Alex Sanchez manning the benches. He is assisted by Corey Richardson, a Florida Eels alumnus from the 2014-15 season. Richardson played college hockey at Finlandia University as the Florida Eels continue to storm the end zone. Landon Engels along the near point gets some resistance from Broadhead. 2-on-2 battle working its way down towards the goal line. Nate Hedrick joining the fray for the Eels, and Pablo Palos avoids the offside call. He keeps the puck across the point by a matter of inches and throws a shot a mile away from the net. Back along the near goal line, Jeremy Pizzola trying to scrap back and forth with Landon Engels, but Engels can't keep things rolling for the Eels. It's handling the other direction. Schubert coming out of his net to play it, and he slams the puck up the near glass and back out to the middle of the rink. Pablo Paulos onside, connects with Hedrick down low, and his backhander was not able to be placed on. Into the nearest circle. Derek Hambling stuffs the puck down towards Schubert, And Cartier retrieving for the Eels. Hambling jumps in the way. He goes sharp angle. Save made. Rebound by Alex Broadhead, but there was too many bodies out in front of the cage. Nate Hedrick, surrounded by 3 different junior blades. He's the lone Eel in the offensive end. Eventually, Hambling creates the turnaway. Shepard sauces the puck in midair. Ryu knocks it down. Pizzola on top of the right circle. Point blank shot and a goal. The junior blades tie it up with a point blanker from Rory Niche. And it's 1-1 with 5:37 to go in the first. Well, the junior blades finally had something rolling their way. And Schubert gives up his first goal in net for the Florida Eels after going perfect in his debut last night. So the junior blades get that opening goal of the weekend, and sometimes that first tally is always the hardest one to get. On the ensuing draw, Peyton Donica flashes the puck forward in front of the junior blades bench into the right circle. Max Steck with the interception as we have the public address announcement. So we do have a correction. The goal goes to number 25, Jordan Jeffords. And Rory Niche, who we originally assumed was the goal scorer, will pick up the assist. Vincent Cartier dangling his way off to the right side of the junior blades netminder, Riley Shepard. He sweeps it out in front. Nobody there for the Eels. And the junior blades come careening into opposing ground. Jeffords towards the far goal line. He's rammed into the glass by Trevor Bass. Vincent Cartier lowering the boom himself. Zach Simbro breaking free with a one-on-one. Simbro of the Eels into the left circle. Pulls back at the top of the wing. And Jeffords able to come up big for the Blades. Roadhouse with a cross-ice feed to Steck. Steck litters it into the junior Blades end zone as he heads off in the line change. 4:17 to go in period number 1. We have even Steven hockey, 1-1 in this Elite Division battle. Far side corner, chucked out in front for Roadhouse. Throws on a laser, but Schubert plays it perfectly for the whistle. We thank you for tuning in and for making us a part of your Sunday morning. Nick Rush giving you the play-by-play for the second game of this 2-game weekend series. Well, there was a lot of intensity in last night's game, to say the least, and even a couple of disqualifications given out on some fisticuffs. Stephen Hewitt and Neil Campbell of the Eels currently serving disqualifications. Same can be said for the junior blades Josh Schreiberg and Ashton King. This face-off comes to the blocker side of Schubert. The biscuit wheeled behind the net for Hambling. He strokes it towards the far circle where Clift hops in the way for the Eels. Matthew Clift from the far hash puts the give and go on to Ward. Ward sets up Harrop with a breakaway. Right circle backhander, and it's held onto by Shepard to keep this a 1-1 game. Caleb Harrop came up empty on the score sheet last night for the Eels, but he still leads the Florida Eels team in goals and points. To be exact, he has 13 goals and 23 points as of this Sunday morning. Draw coming to Shepard's left. Puck wheeled back out in front of the penalty box boards. Ward recovers for the Eels. Centers it to Carlson. Carlson swings into the nearest circle, stacks one on, and Shepard uses the left-handed glove to his advantage. We'll have another face-off to his right. Junior Blades slowly climbing back in the shots on goal department as they trail in that category 10-8. From the nearest circle, puck banks right out in front of Shepard, but Jeffords is there in the nick of time to wedge it away from the blue paint. Isaac Vasquez goes tape to tape with Derek Hambling. Hambling getting free off to the left side of Schubert, backs it up to Niche, and Harrop creates the turnaround. Harrop curls in front of the Florida Eels bench. He's trying to go end-to-end into the right circle. Goes rink wide to Carlson, but he couldn't play the puck cleanly. Held on to once more by Shepard. And we have a crowd gathering behind the net. And after the altercations that we had in last night's action, we hope that the same would not be said for today's game. And here in this first period, it's been civil for the most part. Of course, you have that additional intensity between these two crosstown arch rivals, with these two teams having their home facilities just about 30 minutes away from each other on Interstate 75. Vincent Cartier rescues the puck in the right slot, jabs one on, and Shepard comes up big for his team as the whistle sounds. Stoppages becoming more and more frequent in the later stages of the first period, 2:51 until the intermission. Back to the far wing. Play transpires into the point, where it's thrown into midair by Jeremy Pizzola out to center. Woodridge getting free, right circle, and the shot meets the outer lining of the net. So along the far point, Pablo Paulos gets the clearance. Could be a 2-on-1 if the Eels hurry. Hedrick goes wide side to Paulos, but the Junior Blades are able to get a stick out in front. That came from Woodridge. Woodridge trying to go coast to coast. He's jammed into the near side half boards. And the puck is stroked back over to Vincent Cartier, far side. On to the right glass for Landon Engels. Goes straight through, out to the center circle where Vasquez stands. Nick Vasquez of the Eels on the ice at the same time as Isaac Vasquez, a Junior Blades defenseman. Rory Niche with a slap shot coming all the way back at the blue line, but Schubert is able to intervene, and he vacuums up the puck. Everybody comes together along the near post, but the officiating crew keeps everybody apart. This elite game is the first matchup of a doubleheader today at the Hertz Arena. At 12:15 p.m., we will see the premier teams go at it between the Eels and the Blades. Back along the right circle. The puck sputters out to center, even though Jack Klunk won it for the Blades. Peyton Donica regrouping for the Eels along the near hash mark. Smoked out to center, where Zebley gets a hold of it in front of the penalty box board. Steck whacks it into the right corner. Schubert coming out of his net to play it, and he lets it fly up towards the near end of the blue line. Puck barely able to stay off the glass, and it's Hambling at the middle of red. Puts the give and go on to Steck's tape. Steck down the near dasher. Gets wide open in front of Schubert, but he's not able to pull the trigger. Jack Klunk back up to the near point. He's pushed out the mid-rink by Vincent Cartier. Cartier off to the races behind the net of Shepard. He pushes his way up into the right circle. And oh my goodness, Vincent Cartier absolutely lays out Anthony Cosentino. The Eels bench goes nuts as Schubert feeds the disc up the right side to Horde. We're down to the final minute of the opening period. 1-1 score. Vincent Cartier trying to give the Eels back the lead. He shoots one on, and Shepard gets the elbow out in front. Puck ricochets to the near corner, and it's wheeled back out across center. Williams tatters one on to Schubert. That's an easy stoppage, but play keeps on going. Carlson searching for his second goal today after the first one came at 1:01 of the first. He swerves in from the near post, gets the backhander through, and he is unsuccessful. Now 17 ticks of the clock left until your first intermission begins. Jordan Jeffords double team between Landon Engels and Caleb Harrop, and we have a stoppage due to an infraction. Matthew Clift is the guilty party, so the Junior Blades head back to the man advantage for the second time of the day. The verdict is a slash, with a face-off coming to Schubert's left. The Junior Blades were unable to capitalize on their first man advantage of the day. And the Florida Eels just need to survive these final 9 seconds of the period so they can get back into the locker room and reassess the situation. J.J. Peters sends it 200 feet down the rink, and that will do it for period number 1. After 20 minutes of regulation, your score 1-1, between the Florida Eels and the Florida Junior Blades. We'll step aside and come back with your middle stanza of play right after this on the Florida Eels Broadcast Network. We are back and ready to go as we set your second period of play to begin. 1-1 between the Florida Eels and the Florida Junior Blades here in Elite Division action. Eels have 1 minute 45 seconds to go on a carryover penalty kill to Matthew Clift. And the Junior Blades get right to work along the near side corner. Peter Haas able to get into the top of the circle, and he rims it all the way down to Riley Shepard, the Junior Blades netminder. Carlson came sweeping out in front. Shepard barely able to beat him out to the punch. So the Junior Blades get back to work along their 4 hash marks. Long distance pass strung over to Jacob Gusty. Hands it off to Rory Niche. Niche tried to swing it back up to Gusty at the far point, but to no avail. Jeremy Pizzola retrieves along his far point in front of the Florida Eels benches. Unattended disc along our near side in the neutral zone. Bailey Kaiser peels back into the right wing corner. Gusty goes all the way down the rink to Rory Niche. Niche all alone, shot and a goal! Rory Niche takes matters into his own hands. He dekes past the defender and gives the Junior Blades the lead off of the power play. 2-1, exactly 60 seconds into period number 2. The Florida Eels got caught sleeping right out of the dressing room. They started the game hot with the opening goal coming 1:01 into the first period, but the Junior Blades get back-to-back strikes. And we'll see how they can carry this momentum throughout the middle stanza. The next draw, won by Jeremy Pizzola of the Blades. He yanks it into the Eels' left circle. Tattered up along the midpoint, sailed around the goal line. Pizzola recovers in between the rings, but the puck banks into the corner. Wide side, Alex Broadhead. Broadhead with another cross-ice feed, but nobody there for the Blades. Here's the goal announcement. Jacob Gusty and Bailey Kaiser with the assist on the marker from Rory Niche. So Niche now with 1 goal and 1 assist on this Sunday morning as the puck wheels in on Thomas Schubert. He squeezes the 5-hole shut. Paddled out the center for Matthew Ryu. Broadhead gets the poke check into the near side corner. Battle along the right end glass. Ryu in there. Anthony Zebley jumping into the fray as well for the Eels. Stroked out the center where Manicki stands along the near glass. Poked away by Derek Hambling as he goes head-to-head with J.J. Peters behind the net. Hambling trying to reverse sides up the right wing. And it's back behind the cage of Thomas Schubert. Eels finally get some relief out to the neutral zone. It's Pablo Paulos down the left side. Backhanded pass to Zebley. Tries to get a shot on, no can do. And a penalty is called against the Blades. The official call is a trip. And we will see who the guilty party is momentarily. The head referee has to pick somebody off of the Junior Blades bench as the perpetrator went off on a line change. It is Derek Hambling taking a seat for 2 minutes. And the Eels are off to power play number 2 today. They're 0 for 1 thus far in the man advantage as Clift goes rink wide to Harrop at the right point. Harrop knuckles one high and over the crossbar. Eels maintain possession with Matthew Clift along the left hash marks. Clift evaluating his options as he's being blocked up by Cosentino. Harrop throws it down low to Carlson. Had too much pressure behind the blast. Back into the right circle. Blades fail to clear it. Matthew Clift at a high slot. Muscles one wide right with Clunk barely able to catch a piece of it. 1 minute 30 seconds ago on the Florida Eels power play. Their first one of the period. Along the right corner, Matthew Clift walks back up the far side, reaches out to Cartier. Cartier banks one through traffic, and the Junior Blades hurl this into the Eels bench. Derek Hambling with 1:17 to go on his infraction. 16:54 left in the second period. 2-1, Blades lead over the Eels. Face-off coming to Riley Shepard's right side. And the draw is won by Cartier of the Eels. Cartier splits the blue line, hammers it down low to Cliff, and it's butted back out to center by Alex Broadhead. Caleb Harrop not able to reach out, so the Junior Blades get another clearance into the Eels territory. Harrop having to track it down at the blue line near side. Works his way up the far dasher, hooks the puck to Cliff. Cliff surrounded by 3 different Blades, and they're barely able to cut it out to neutral. Slapped down the length of the rink by Anthony Cosentino. Now 40 seconds until the Junior Blades get back to full strength. Walked out to the middle of the ice by Caleb Harrop. He dips it backwards to Peyton Donica, and Donica's tape to tape with Harrop. Harrop knuckles one off of the back glass, and the puck ricochets all the way back to Thomas Schubert. Schubert coming out of his net into the near side circle. He paddles the puck to Landon Engels. Engels, the newly named team captain for the Eels, puts the give and go over to Anthony Zebley. 7 seconds left on the Eels power play. Zebley cuts to the right, and his backhander goes off and away from Riley Shepard. So we're back to 5-on-5. Hambling vacates the box as he goes back to the Blades bench. Rink wide feed and a goal. Caleb Harrop going wide side on Riley Shepard, and he knots up the game at 2 apiece. 4.5 minutes into the second. That was Pablo Paulos from the far corner, reaching out to Caleb Harrop on the opposing side of the zone, and he had half of the net wide open. So the Florida Eels had a bit of a scare, going down 2-1 exactly 1 minute into the second period, but Harrop able to get back into the scoring column after going empty-handed in last night's game against the Junior Blades. Keep in mind that was a 4-0 Eels win, as another glove save is produced by Thomas Schubert, the Florida Eels goaltender today. Face off to the far boards. Woodridge trying to flash one on, and that gets engulfed in traffic. J.J. Peters retrieving for the Eels as he walks back across the center red. Hedrick intercepted by Williams. Williams floods the puck on into Schubert. Schubert hands it off to Peters, and Peters goes long distance to Vasquez. Vasquez wheels and deals to Hedrick across the opposing blue line. Engels now onside, and that puck is pinballing on the outer end of the Junior Blades ice. Bailey Kaiser taking a 360, and he connects with Jacob Gusty. Gusty along the near side half boards, goes into the left corner where a 4-man jam breaks out. Chuck back out in front, nobody there for the Junior Blades, and the Eels are back out to neutral. Cyril Calvanese dangles to Peters. Peters trying to knuckle one ahead, but too much mustard behind the chance. Along the right wing half wall, it's Cyril Calvanese knocking the puck behind the cage. Williams banging it to the far point. Back down low for Calvanese. Calvanese cycling across the opposing territory for the Eels, and he's unable to keep it in. So J.J. Peters comes out in front of the Junior Blades bench. Gusty finesses it aside, and Bailey Kaiser has some work to do from the far goal line. Gusty giving him a little bit of help. Gusty throws it back up top near point to Broadhead. Broadhead pulls the trigger, and Thomas Schubert gets the windmill motion for the whistle. 13:49 to go, and your middle stanza of play, 2-2 between the Eels and the Blades. We mentioned Nick Vasquez being on the ice a moment ago. He's wearing a face mask for the first time this season compared to his usual half shield. And the reason for that is because he injured his tongue during last night's game. We'll tell you why on the next blow of the whistle. And it comes right here as the puck is smothered by Schubert, and a crowd comes together behind the cage. Well, during last night's game against the Junior Blades, the Eels defenseman Nick Vasquez bit his tongue, and he ended up having to go to the emergency room where he received 5 stitches. Vasquez left the emergency room around 3 in the morning And he had to be here at the rink 4 hours later for this 9:15 a.m. tilt against the Blades. So it's been a very interesting past 12 hours for Nick Vasquez. You remember last night these two teams squared off at 9:20 p.m. at the Fort Myers Stadium. And today's game started at 9:15. So two games, not even 12 hours apart from one another. Boy, is their stamina being tested on this weekend prior to the Thanksgiving break. Jeremy Pizzola can't cleanly handle the disc along the far point. He rims it around the end wall, and Trevor Bass hogs it up at the goal line. This gets sailed wide to the net by Tyler Entwistle, and the Junior Blades keep the power going. Rory Niche along the back wall. He's halted by Trevor Bass directly behind the net. Poked back out in front. Ambling couldn't get a beat on it. Shot and a goal. It's wheeled through the 5-hole and in as Nolan Manicki gets the tally, and he gives the Junior Blades their second lead of the game. It's 3-2. 13-11 left in the second. This is a more confident Junior Blades team than we've seen last night. As a matter of fact, their energy is looking like a night and day difference compared to Saturday evening. The Eels once again have to work from behind as Jake Carlson takes this face-off out at center ice. He gets defeated by Bailey Kaiser, and the Junior Blades put their offensive core into the attacking ice. Carlson has it flipped away as another public address announcement is made. Derek Hambling and Rory Niche with the assist on the marker from Nolan Manicki. So it's already a 3-point day for Rory Niche as he now possesses 1 goal and 2 assists. Woodridge into the right circle as the puck stroked out the center by Caleb Harrop. Harrop looking for his second goal of the game. Drops it back for Cliff, but Cliff discards at the midpoint for Peters. Peters hammers it on. Save made. Rebounder coming. Mad scramble along the near post. And it is secured by Riley Shepard. Jake Carlson gets slammed down in the blue paint by Jacob Gusty. And the Junior Blades bench is all sorts of fired up. Line changes come on the way for both teams as we approach the halfway marker of regulation. 12:18 reads the second period clock as we have 3 goals for the Blades, 2 for the Eels. Face-off coming to Riley Shepard's glove side. It's backed up for Carlson, and Carlson rifles one over the crossbar. Engels not able to retrieve at the far point. Junior Blades back out in front of their benches. Carlson tips it into his favor, back at the center red. He's trying to go end to end. Carlson high slot, banks one on, and Shepard plays it perfectly for your next halt in action. Shepard receiving some love from the Junior Blades fans in attendance. Nice crowd on hand for this Sunday morning at Hertz Arena. These games always make for some lively turnouts and attendance, of course, with both of these teams playing in Southwest Florida. Nailed in front of the penalty box boards where Trevor Bass takes over. He floods the puck behind the cage, and Riley Shepard holds it back on the wall for Jack Williams. Williams stings the puck to the far hash marks. You have Zebley jumping into the board battle. He is joined by Peter Haas. The disc is freed up along the near goal line and ricocheted out the center for Broadhead. Finessed aside by Peter Haas. Peter Haas re-enters the attacking zone, and his wrister goes high and into the mesh netting. Well, last night in that Eels 4-0 victory at the stadium, the Eels combined goals between 4 different players: Ciro Calvanese, Landon Engels, Matthew Ryu, and Nate Hedrick. Thus far, the Eels' goals have came from Jake Carlson and Caleb Harrop as Jeffords steers the puck from his near half boards. Back along the left wing, center ice. Pablo Paulos gets across the blue line onside. Tries to wheel it off for Vasquez. Vasquez going from the sharp angle, and Shepard places glove the puck. So the Junior Blades maintain their 3-2 advantage if 9 minutes have gone by in the second. This draw comes into the left circle. Nate Hedrick leaning in for the Eels as he goes up against Rory Nish. Nish is the victor as he goes rink wide. Dominicki along the right hash marks. Nish gets the clearance. He's elbowed down from behind by Hedrick, and he is guilty of a boarding call. So Hedrick goes into the box. Junior Blades enter their third power play of the Sunday morning. Well, Hedrick came right from behind and rammed Rory Nish in the glass towards that near point. And that will be called an infraction every day of the week with a face-off coming to Schubert's left. Eels win the face-off, and it's sent halfway down the rink by Carlson. Pizzola batted out in midair, man alone for the Eels in front, but the shot goes errant from a wide-open Peter Haas. Haas got rammed into the back wall shortly after the attempt, and the Junior Blades are back out in front of Schubert. Rink-wide feed, wrister gets denied. Jeremy Pizzola put the knuckler on. Schubert able to transfer from one post to the other. Back the other way for Carlson. He shakes off Gusty in the right corner. Eels in the end zone, curls out in front, and Carlson comes up short as Shepard draws the stoppage. So the Eels have had not one but two golden opportunities to equal the score with 1:26 to go on their penalty kill. Nate Hedrick currently serving his time in the sin bin with this face-off down the right wing side. Junior Blades stuck in their own zone. Jeremy Pizzola, the first one to touch up from the near goal line. He pauses behind the cage of Shepard and walks up the left glass out to center. Puts the give and go on to Kaiser. Kaiser switches back to Jeremy Pizzola to his left. Pizzola knocks the puck down the near wing, and it's rimmed up the opposing side, and it ultimately catches the mesh netting for the whistle. Matthew Cliff goes to the far side, loses the face-off, where another shot is blasted on by Matt Woodridge. That's gloved down by Schubert. With the second period clock frozen, it reads 9:53. And the Junior Blades are looking to extend their 3-2 advantage on the power play, which will go on for the next minute 3 seconds, unless if they can capitalize beforehand. Pizzola on top of the left wing circle, strings one through. Rebound on the other side, rejected. Third time, not the charm, as Bailey Kaiser had no room to work with. He was right on the doorstep, but Matthew Cliff sends the puck 200 feet down. Flipped up to the nearer point. Harrop marches his way out across the neutral zone. Goes in a cross-ice feed to Vincent Cartier at center ice. He's pressed up against the scorer's table area. Jacob Gusty pinballs the puck off of the back wall, and it's chipped out across the center red. Jeremy Pizzola down to the left hash marks. He gets jammed up by J.J. Peters, but the Junior Blades hang on. Matthew Cliff with a pickoff, and he litters it all the way to Riley Shepard. Shepard makes the save and paddles the puck towards the right goal line. Chucked out to center. Landon Engels trying to wheel it across, but he meets Bailey Kaiser of the Blades instead. The play is blown dead right as the Eels penalty gets killed off. So Nate Hedrick out of the penalty box and back onto the Eels bench with 8:47 until the second intermission. Eels down by 1 in this 3-2 scenario. Faceoff comes to the near side red dot. Eels with their backs to their own end. Zebley kicks the puck into the left circle where Henry Ward stands. Ward, the first-year Florida Eel out of Indiana, pauses behind the net, goes short distance for Landon Engels, out to the middle of the rink. Williams plays it for the Broadhead. Broadhead down the lane, wrister, and a save, rebound, and it goes in. Thomas Schubert couldn't secure it in between his pads, and the Junior Blades take their largest lead of the game, 4-2. It appears that Derek Hambling was the last one to get the touch as he received some love from the Junior Blades bench. But boy, was that a tough look for the Florida Eels defensive core. The Junior Blades had not one, not two, not three, but 4 different chances on the Schubert, and the 4th one sealed the deal. For the first time in the game, the Blades also lead in shots on net, 22-21. They're back into the attacking zone. Simbro diffuses the situation, and he'll battle from the near corner. Puck flipped on by Williams from the near point. It's gloved down by Schubert. Thomas Schubert, it's been a tale of 2 games for him after he had a 29-save shutout last night in that Eels 4-0 victory. But today it's been very different, as the Junior Blades have been able to put 4 goals in the back of his net. Face off to Schubert's blocker side, won by the Eels, and they have a 2-on-1. Matthew Clift right circle, hammers it on, but Shepard covers it up. So as is announced, Hambling with the goal. And the players will congregate with a draw to the near dasher. Matthew Clift sparks it towards the near point. Peter's not able to get there in time. He's beat out by Pizzola, just a step ahead. Matthew Clift, rink-wide feed for Cartier. Cartier flutters one through traffic. Rebounder not able to be put through by Jake Carlson. Carlson harassed from behind the net by Vasquez. Still floats it up top to Cartier, and his wrister gets blockered out to center. That was Jacob Gusty catching it off the shin pad, and the puck goes all the way back down in front of Schubert. Backhander save made. Rebounder doesn't go. Pizzola sends it flying into the mesh netting, but the play keeps on going. So the Eels will roll with it. Jake Carlson in front of the Eels bench centers it for Matthew Clift, but Jeffords right there to pick it away. Caleb Harrop, near side corner, peels in front for the wraparound attempt, but no room or time to work with. Final 7 minutes of the second period have arrived in this 4-2 game going in the favor of the Blades. Right circle, Max Steck in the wrong place at the wrong time as Jake Carlson gets ahead. Carlson tripped down, and that's an infraction against the Blades. The Eels needed something going their way in the worst kind of way. So this power play may be just what the doctor ordered, as Roadhouse is the perpetrator. So here's a face-off on the far circle. And the Eels bench slamming their sticks against the boards. They win the draw up at the high slot. Matthew Ryu paddles into the right corner. Batted around by Cosentino. Ryu reclaims it, reaches across to Zebley. Zebley cruising in, knifes one on, save made. And the Junior Blades get it up but not out, left side of the blue line. Engels keeps it across. Rister coming into goal! Anthony Zebley strikes from the midpoint. His wrist shot dices through traffic. It's a power play strike to cut the Eels' deficit down to 1. 6:23 to go in the second. And as we mentioned moments ago, that man advantage is what the doctor ordered for the Eels. Roadhouse vacates to sin bin. He goes back to the Junior Blades bench. There's a couple of moments spent out in front of the scorer's table between the 3 officiating members. The Junior Blades head coach, Rob Weingartner, wants an explanation. He's not going to get one. And I believe what happened is Riley Shepard had all kinds of traffic in his crease. Weingartner may be pleading his case for some sort of goaltender interference call, but it's not going to go his way, and we're back into action. Dumped up the far boards by Thomas Schubert. This one comes bouncing his way in, but it never reaches the net. Sharp angle feed goes awry from Anthony Cosentino down the right glass. Near side corner, Zebley gets poke checked by Jack Williams around the cage. Landon Engels with some insurance for the Eels, and they come roaring out the center with a 2-on-2. Zebley had Hambling step in his way. Eels still with it into the left circle. Peter Haas not able to pick it out of his skates, and the puck remains along the far goal line. Eels getting a line change. Engels heading off. Cartier heading on. Cosentino down the near boards. Hammers a shot over the head of Thomas Schubert. Back into the far corner. Hambling had the puck too far away from him. So the Florida Eels get another clearance to the halfway marker of the ice. Williams and Peters exchanging some gloves with one another. As we're now down to 5:08 left in the second. 4-3. Junior Blades hanging on to the advantage. Peter Haas on the back wall. Finessed away by Hambling. Sets up a man in front for the goal. That appeared to be Anthony Cosentino converting on a one-time drive. 5-3 Blades. That was a surefire assist from Derek Hambling. And just when it seemed like the Florida Eels had some momentum, the Junior Blades take it right away. And it may be easy for the Eels to panic after really controlling all of last night's game to a 4-0 shutout. Now today they face all types of adversity, but there's still plenty of hockey to be played. As a matter of fact, 25 minutes to spare in regulation, with Zach Simbro chipping the puck off the Eels bench. Junior Blades with the nonstop pressure. Schubert behind the net. Flees it up the far hash marks where Carlson waits. Slap shot on, an absolute bullet from Jeremy Pizzola, but Schubert plays it in the breadbasket for the whistle. Shots on goal now even up at 25 apiece. Into the far circle. It's Caleb Harrop forming a 2-on-1. Clift off to his right. Harrop in the left circle. Paddles one on, and a glove save is made by Shepard. Matt Woodridge trying to go coast to coast. Deeks towards the near post, pokes out in front, and Gusty gets robbed by Schubert. Jacob Gusty, always a threat on this Junior Blades roster. He joined the Blades midway through the 2019-20 season after playing the first half of that year on the Florida Eels side. When he joined the Blades, his leadership was on display from the get-go, and he has already been named the team captain for this year. And although Jacob Gusty was on the Florida Eels roster at the start of the 2019-20 campaign, he never actually played any games, which was the reason for his departure. During this break, a penalty was called against Matt Woodridge of the Blades, so the Eels have another man advantage coming their way. You remember on the previous 5-on-4 for the Eels, Anthony Zebley was able to hit the back of the twine. We'll see if they can do it again. When the linesman having a quick word with the Eels head coach Alex Sanchez. Head referee talking things out with a livid Rob Weingartner on the Blades bench. Right away, Eels apply pressure with Carlson along the right side of the blue line. He backhands it down the near dasher, and the play is killed. Now a member of the officiating crew is talking to somebody watching the game from ringside. That's one of the Eels' scratches as they watch the game from the front of the locker room. That confusion's all cleared up. And the Eels are back to work with Landon Engels along the left goal line. This is scattered through center and all the way back into the Eels' ice. Carlson into his right circle. Slowly walks his way up the opposing side. Carlson with a side shuffle over to Zebley. Zebley down the near boards. Has a couple of men across the line, so he will wait at the center red for everybody to get back out to center. Pablo Paulos receives the wide side pass. Engels on top of the left circle, and he skies the puck out of play. 1 minute and 11 seconds remaining on the violation to Matt Woodridge of the Blades. 3:23 until the second intermission. 5-3 Junior Blades lead in this Elite Division matchup. Keep in mind, after this game concludes, we will have the premier level bout between the Eels and Blades with a projected puck drop of 12:15 p.m. Turned away for Harrop. Harrop jabs one over the crossbar, and it appears that Shepard caught his left elbow on the puck. The disc is rung up to the far point. Cartier gets picked off into 2-on-1 for the Blades. Rory Nish leading the charge, throws it in front, but the centering feed was not located by Manicki. So the Florida Eels get a sigh of relief, and they have an odd-man rush. A 3-on-2 into the nearest circle. Puck ricocheted off a Jack Williams shin pad. He chucks it up to the far point, and the Junior Blades are out to neutral with 38 seconds to go on their penalty kill. Matthew Clift spears the puck to the near point. On top of the right circle for Carlson. Carlson waits, wraps around the net, lets it go, and nothing going. Rebound by Cartier goes wide, and Matthew Clift has to reconsider things from the left hash marks. Gets into the far circle, bangs one through traffic, and Harrop wasn't able to stuff it home on the back door. Harrop chucking another one towards the cage, and it appears the Junior Blades will survive their penalty kill with the dump down. Schubert into the left wing circle, dingles his way past a man. He has to get back into his net, and he will do so with a cover-up. That's one thing we learned about Thomas Schubert during his Florida Eels debut in net last night. Not afraid to get out of that blue paint, even if he can make things incredibly uncomfortable for his teammates. He will flat out challenge Junior Blades to approach him, and then at the last second pull away in a deke move. And every time he does it, the Florida Eels bench erupts in applause. But we see Matthew Clift leave the ice for the Eels as he receives a misconduct. But it is a 2-minute infraction which Ciro Calvanese will serve in the box. So into the right point, Gusty stands and flinks the puck off of the back glass. Shot goes wide right to Schubert, and it was very interesting because it's officially a 2-minute minor. But Clift has left the ice and gone back to the Florida Eels bench. No misconduct was announced from the public address system, as Ciro Calvanese will remain in the penalty box for the next minute, 23 seconds of game time. We're down to the last 90 ticks of the clock for the second period, where the Eels trail by a pair, 5-3. Peter Haas heading onto the ice for the Eels in exchange of Matthew Ryu. And this faceoff will come at the red dot right side. Eels with their backs to their own zone. Carlson gets pickpocketed by Bailey Kaiser at the Eels blue line, but it's sailed into the right corner of the Blades ice. Carlson chugging his way up the far boards, halts into the circle, gets back ahead, and no wraparound attempt arrived. Woodridge able to push him off of the biscuit, and the Junior Blades ride out the center. Nolan Manicki on top of the near circle. pulls back behind the net as we're down to the final minute of period number 2. Jacob Gusty hacks an attempt on, but Schubert creates the stoppage in play. Face off to Schubert's left. Pizzola with an cried feed. Down towards the hash marks. Left side. On the right point, Jacob Gusty waits, pulls the trigger, and this gets caromed into the near corner. At the goal line, the Junior Blades will set things back up with 30 seconds to go on their power play. Big 2-on-2 scramble along the goal line, and it's finally forked all the way down to Shepard, with Peter Haas doing the honors. Gusty reclaiming the puck in the near circle. Halts around the right corner. Flips it across out to the neutral zone to Bailey Kaiser. Kaiser flips it off to his left to Pizzola. And Pizzola can't get anything going on the remainder of this power play. We're back to 5-on-5 with 5 seconds left in the period. Cyril Calvini is out of the box. He'll get onto the rink, but that'll just about do it as the buzzer sounds. After 40 minutes of regulation, your score, the Florida Junior Blades 5 and the Florida Eels 3. We'll take another break and come back with the start of your third and final period from Hertz Arena. This is the Florida Eels Broadcast Network. Welcome back into the Florida Eels Broadcast Network as we begin your third period of play between the Florida Eels Elite Team and the Florida Junior Blades. The Blades lead 5-3 as we start up your final 20 minutes of action, and it all begins with Vincent Cartier of the Eels. He'll run across right to left on your computer screen, while the Junior Blades go left to right. Landon Engels across the middle circle, throws it off to his right side as he was looking to reach out to Peter Haas. Haas strokes it to the low slot, but nobody else was home for the Eels. Landon Engels in a foot race with Jacob Gusty to the puck in front of the Eels bench. Flank back behind the net of the Eels goaltender Thomas Schubert, and they will take over with Zebley leading the way out to center. Pizzola stashes the puck back behind Schubert's net. He'll come out to play it along the far goal line. He discards the puck to Vincent Cartier. A little through pass goes awry as he was looking down the rink to Matthew Ryu. Matt Woodridge floods the puck off of the back wall, and that goes wide of Schubert. Back along the far side half boards, 2-on-2 scramble as we are over a minute into the third period. The Eels have their work cut out for them as they are down by 2 goals heading into this final frame. Anthony Zebley could have a 3-on-2 for the Eels if they hurry. It drops down to a 2-on-2, and the puck caroms into the Junior Blades bench for your first whistle of the third. Well, these two teams, no love lost between the two as they are very familiar with one another. Today's game represents the 7th matchup of 11 this season between the Eels and Blades. Despite the fact that we're only in November, these squads are already in the back half of this regular season series. Another puck goes out of play, this time into the penalty box area. So we will resume action with a center ice face-off. Jake Carlson of the Eels comes up short to Rory Nish. And Nish sorts the puck into the Junior Blades attacking zone. It wheels into the right wing corner. Carlson goes wide side to Peters on the goal line. Back out in front of the cage to Simbro. Simbro backhanding to Harrop. Harrop going long distance, but it hit the body of Rory Nish along the midpoint. He gets a backwards pass rolling, and the shot goes wide from Rory Nish in between the rings. Jeremy Pizzola sends one off of the back wall, and Carlson retrieves at the far point. Sent back low into the Junior Blades offensive end by Kaiser, and Clift with a little stick work at the far hash. Clift jumping into the 2-on-2 battle. You have Carlson joining the fray as players continue to pry it out of each other's skates. Lowered away on the far post by Caleb Harrop, and Harrop will take matters into his own hands as he rushes into the near side circle. He stacks a shot on, and Shepard takes it off of the left leg pad. Cartier can't keep the puck in the offensive zone. It's a delayed offside against the Eels. So the Junior Blades head back to the offensive side. Eels getting a line change. Pass goes awry from the Blades, intended a handling, and it is an icing call. 2 minutes 45 seconds into your third period. 5-3, Junior Blades lead. The ensuing face-off comes to Riley Shepard's right. And the Eels aren't able to win the face-off as Landon Engels grabs control from the near point, spears it down low behind the cage. Jack Klunk with some competition against Nate Hedrick. Hedrick with 1 goal on the day today. Puts the give and go on to Vincent Cartier. He's tripped up from behind. No call is made. So we'll continue at 5-on-5. Big hit by Pablo Paulos along the right wing half boards. Paulos drops it behind the cage. Strung back out to the low slot. Nobody there for the Eels. Cartier tries to rifle one through traffic. That gets engulfed off the body of Isaac Vasquez. Wrapped around the cage. Pablo Paulos struggling for possession as multiple men clash along the left wing corner. Hambling goes off to the far side. Cosentino waiting there, and he'll elect to just flip it in behind Schubert's net. Schubert lets it go up the right glass, and along the middle red, Engels takes over for the Eels. Pablo Paulos clashing sticks back and forth with Roadhouse. Roadhouse stabs it away, and the stick goes out of his hands. And he is fuming right now because he wanted an interference call, but it doesn't go his way. Eels will play that to their advantage with Landon Engels quarterbacking a new drive. Williams at the right point, lowering it towards the corner. Multiple men just ramming into each other. Nate Hedrick has 3 different defenders to beat, and he places the puck straight into Shepard's midsection for this next stoppage. So still plenty of hockey to be played for the Eels, but the time to act is now. You have to get good habits starting right at the beginning of the third period as they trail by a pair. 4 minutes and 20 seconds into this third period. Jack Williams rotates the puck up to the far point, turned away for Carlson. Carlson lets it fly, and that's over Shepard's head. Rescue at the far point by Peters. Peters sends it left circle, and Carlson with another blast high and dry. Eels getting all kinds of shots in the attacking zone, but not a whole lot actually getting on to Shepard, the Junior Blades netminder. Peters waiting around the center circle, backs up to the middle of his own blue line. Carlson in front of penalty box boards, forwards it to Zebley. Zebley dancing down to the low slot, and he's taken off the puck by a diving Jack Williams. Zebley having to duel for it along the low slot. He eventually pulls the trigger, but Shepard puts the mitt on top. Eels bringing out the line changes, and you remember that second period was such a pivotal moment in this game. Both teams entered the middle stanza 1-1, but then the Junior Blades pulled through with 4 different goals, where they now stand up by a pair. Woodridge flies the puck back behind Schubert's net. Schubert feeds the puck to Engels. Engels into the right circle. A little through pass going in between the skates of Heikkila. And he will have to track it down in the enemy zone. William Heikkila getting onto the ice for the first time of the day for the Eels. As Schubert has to rattle it away once more into the right circle. Junior Blades getting to work. This is a flick of the wrist. And the puck leaves a scuff off of the backboards as Jack Williams provided the opportunity. Cartier getting jammed up by Gusty along the back wall. Heikkila in the right corner whiffs on the biscuit. And it's Heikkila having to regain control. Far side goal line. 3-man board battle. And Trevor Bass comes away for the Eels. Trevor Bass out to center, breaks a man, and it's 2-on-1. Calvanese to his left. Bass right circle, forehander, and a goal! Trevor Bass with his first goal of the season, and he cuts down the deficit to 1. Well, you love to see it. There's a first for everything when it comes to these Florida Eels in their first year. And how about Trevor Bass on the 2-on-1? That absolutely fires up this Florida Eels team. They come alive, and you have to love the spirit that they bring. 5-4 Blades, 13:48 left in regulation. Hambling with the drop pass to Clunk. Clunk gets into the right circle. That's as far as he gets with Matthew Cliff juking his way out in front of Shepard. The puck ends up in no man's land along the right wing half board. Simbro has the puck wedged away in front of the Junior Blades bench, pushed forward by Rory Niche behind the net. Schubert going long distance for Simbro along the left side of the blue line. Jack Williams trying to flank it lower. Almost a breakaway for Clift, but it was broken up by Jack Williams as we have a whistle. The verdict is a hand pass, so both teams will get the line changes with 13:08 left in the third. 5-4 Blades lead. Next face-off comes along the near side red dot. Junior Blades looking into the offensive zone. Schubert along the back wall. Shoos the puck away to Harrop. Harrop discards in front. One-time drive. And that was Rory Niche whiffing on the chance. Puck aired out in front of the Eels bench. It barely stays in the action. And Clift is off to the races. 2-on-2. Clift dangling his way to the near post. Stacks one on and a save is made. Rebounder, no room to work with. Riley Shepard gets to cover. Florida Eels recently able to pull back in front when it comes to the shots on goal department. They lead 32-29 with a draw coming to Shepard's left. Angles muscling one through traffic, and it's ricocheted along the left corner. Near side half boards, everybody congregates, and it's freed up behind the net for Tyler Entwistle. Entwistle gets a touch up, and the Florida Eels have the puck butted out to center. Engels slaps it back across the point and onto the clutches of Riley Shepard. Shepard keeps the play going as it's a 2-on-2 for the Blades. Niche wide open. He has a breakaway. Near post. Backhander save. Rebounder. Absolute robbery. Play continues along the near post. Scrambled in for the goal. Rory Niche makes it a 2-goal game again on the Junior Blades' favor with 12 minutes left in regulation. It has just been a back and forth game. The Eels have had to work from behind ever since the second period. And whenever they get so close to finding the equalizer goal, the Junior Blades extend their advantage just a little bit more. It's Carlson. Back across the left side of the blue line, into the nearest circle. Goes in a cross-ice feed for Zach Simbro, and Simbro has to reverse into the Florida Eels zone. Pedaled ahead to Zebley along the center red. Roadhouse with the pickoff. Wrister taken off of Schubert's left-handed glove. Along the right goal line. Step back out towards the slot. And Jake Carlson gets away to neutral. Backhanded into the end zone. Junior Blades with another breakaway, but the shot is whiffed on by Quinn Roadhouse. Anthony Zebley. Side shuffle to Jake Carlson as he plays it deep along the near corner. He backpedals to Landon Engels, who waits at the middle circle. Plasters a shot wide right of Shepard. Shepard paddles it towards the corner off to his right. And the Florida Eels fail to keep it in the attacking zone. Matthew Clift trying to wedge his way in between a pair of defenders. No can do, as the pickaway is supplied by Jack Williams in front of the penalty box boards. Junior Blades are grouping in their own zone with a new line change on the way. Roadhouse got sandwiched in between a pair of Eels. Slap shot coming. It's gloved away by Vincent Cartier on the near glass. Engels, right corner, tried to go all the way down the rink to Harrop. That doesn't work out, but the icing is negated by the linesman. Harrop getting double teamed currently on the near end glass. Engels puts a knuckler on, and Shepard plays it well as the clock stops with 10:08 to spare in regulation. 6-4, Junior Blades lead. Face-off won by the Blades towards Shepard's blocker side. This gets jabbed over the crossbar by Caleb Harrop, one of the newly named alternate captains on the Florida Eels squad. Harrop trying for the backhander. That backfires as Anthony Cosentino now holds at the hash marks. Harrop with the interception. He will put another laser on where Shepard squeezes tight. Both teams giving it their all here in the final 10 minutes of the third period, as this will be the final game of the month for both of these teams. They will have next week off for the Thanksgiving holidays, so American players will be heading back to their hometowns to spend some time with family. Zach Simbro waiting on top of the right circle, tried sorting out for Zebley in the crease, and that's an easy stop for Shepard. And we now take a look at the USPHL Florida Division standings, where the Florida Eels currently stand at second, Florida Junior Blades at number 5. We'll give you all the records on the next blow of the whistle. Puck is smoked back out to neutral ice. Matt Woodridge floats one on to Schubert, and Schubert hangs the puck behind his net. It's Carlson, tape to tape with Zach Simbro, up the left glass, and out along the center circle. Woodridge gets beat out by Matthew Ryu. Ryu chugging towards the left half boards, rotates it back up top to the blue line for Peters. Peters swings across the line for Simbro. Simbro in the right circle, and his wrist shot is robbed by Shepard. The Tampa Bay Juniors currently sit in first place with an undefeated record of 15-0. They will be challenged by the number 3 Atlanta Mad Hatters today with a game up at Tampa. But the 15-0 Juniors are on top. Right behind them are the Florida Eels sitting at 7-4-3. Mad Hatters are 6-5-3. Charleston Colonials are 4th place with a 4-10-1 record. And the 5th place Florida Junior Blades are 2-14-0-1 as play transpires back out across neutral ice. Jacob Gusty in between the team benches. Lays it at the feet of Bailey Kaiser. Kaiser switches down towards the far post, and it's wiggled away by Pablo Paulos, who lost sight of the disc for a moment. Jeremy Pizzola sends it airborne, lands on the bottom half of the right circle. Point blanker coming on, and Schubert is barely able to kick it away off the right skate. Centered out in the neutral zone, Nate Hedrick trying to shake off the defender Isaac Vasquez. Hedrick behind the cage, looking for the wraparound, but he got the poke check from Pizzola. This one coming from the high slot, a rifler in Peter Haas. But his attempts come up empty-handed. Vincent Cartier towards the near point. And it's barely able to be kept into the zone. Junior Blades thought they were able to get the clearance for a delayed offside. Point blanker hammered on by Vincent Cartier, and Shepard with another save. Eels have plenty of work to do if they want to form a comeback. 7 minutes and 42 seconds to make a 2-goal comeback here at Hertz Arena. Draw off to Shepard's right. Peters fumbling the puck. And Harrop will have to help him out along the neutral zone near boards. Clift dancing into the right corner. He's harassed from behind by Jack Williams, and those two duking out. Woodridge gets some relief for the Blades. Hambling stuffs it towards the far corner. Peters trying to shove off Hambling from behind, and Hambling connects with Nolan Manicki along the left wing half board. Slap shot from the opposing side, taken by Klunk, and that ends up in no man's land. Behind the net, you have Rory Nish playing the puck off of a bizarre hop, and he sends it upwards to Rory Nish along the left end of the blue line. Big scramble for it behind the net. Caleb Harrop clambers away after it, and he kicks up the heels. Left circle, that's as far as he's going to get, with Jack Williams playing some outstanding defense. He got to stick out in front, and he slams the puck up to the near point. Barely kept across the blue line by Peter Haas. Haas playing along the near post. Pushes one on. Shepard with the kick save. Rebounder coming into blue paint. Harrop couldn't supply the goal. Peters giving chase towards the near hash marks. And he has it butted aside by Jack Klunk out to center. Caleb Harrop, double team between Hambling and Jeffords. Jeffords slides it out in front for Hambling, and more miscommunication. It's Zebley along the high slot. He gets discarded away, and an offside call gets ignored by the head referee, much to the dismay of the Junior Blades bench. Jeffords will take a few more moments in the Blades ice. Goes long distance to Quinn Roadhouse in front of the Florida Eels bench. Penalty is given, and this is a roughing call, which appears to go against the Junior Blades. It'll be Quinn Roadhouse sitting for 2 minutes. So this is what the Eels needed with 5:37 to go in your third period. Eels down by a pair of goals. Shepard with the face-off to his glove side. And it's the Eels getting something rolling from the low slot. Picked out of the sky by Carlson to midpoint. Carlson spins away towards the right circle, and he has a man to beat out in front. That's Rory Nish. Rink-wide feed taken by T.J. Zebley towards the near point. Zebley taking his time in the high slot, goes off to his right side where Carlson stands. That's easily turned away by Rory Nish, all the way to Thomas Schubert. $1:25 left on this Florida Eels power play, and exactly 5 minutes to spare in regulation. Matthew Ryu at the center red, skates across the blue line left side. Puts the brakes on towards the corner and peels back out towards the slot. Cartier between the rings. Carlson trying to help him out in a puck battle. Won by Alex Broadhead. Breakaway for Rory Nish into the right circle, and a glove save by Thomas Schubert. He lets the puck go, and Vincent Cartier quarterbacks a new drive. Tried putting it up the gut to Anthony Zebley, but another miscommunication for the Eels. 43 seconds left on the violation to Quinn Roadhouse on the Blade side. Caleb Harrop in front of the Junior Blades bench. Walking his way down the far dasher behind the cage. Spread up the opposing side of the Florida Eels end zone. And another 200-foot clearance by the Blades. So Peters will give the Eels one last chance on this 5-on-4. Takes it 360 to Carlson. Carlson onside towards the near goal line. Up top to Peters. Peters with a flick of the wrist and no rebound along the far post. Carlson was right on the doorstep as this puck soars onto the Florida Eels bench. So Roadhouse is out of the box, and we're back to full strength in the final 3 minutes, 36 seconds of the game. Junior Blades maintain their 6-4 lead. And unless if something miraculous happens for the Eels, the Junior Blades will have their first victory against their crosstown arch rivals on this season. Puck wobbles in toward Shepard, but he secures it in his crease. Well, as we mentioned earlier on in the broadcast, the Eels have defeated the Junior Blades 5 times in a row in this 2020-2021 season. It's hard to beat a team 3 times in a row, let alone 5. But we will see what happens for the remainder of the time. 2-on-1 for the Blades. Right circle forehander. Save made as Bailey Kaiser gets robbed by Schubert. The clock keeps on ticking. Matthew Clift, left side of the blue line. Drops into the near circle. Pushes one on. Shepard says no, sir. Vincent Cartier along the middle circle. Goes off to his left to Matthew Clift. Clift bangs the puck down the far wing, and he retreats on an Eels line change. Shots on goal, 40 for the Eels, 35 for the Junior Blades. Eels with another turn away. Low slot for Ryu, and the puck flies high on him. Backfired clearing attempt by the Blades. It's Carlson stuffing one off the back wall. Zebley can't get a beat on it. So the Eels are stuck out across center ice. Hamling spreads the puck between the skates of Cartier. Time running thin for the Eels, 2:17 to go in the game. They do have their timeout left if head coach Alex Sanchez finds it to be necessary, and likely he will in the coming moments. Left wing corner. Junior Blades will start things up from there. Woodridge at the far point, and the Junior Blades attacking ice, and it's immediately butted back out by Matthew Ryu. Clift punches the puck out to center. He maintains possession with Rory Niche trying to get out in front. Shot hits the iron from Jake Carlson, not able to get his second marker of the day. And the Blades will lather it all the way down the rink. No icing given, so Rory Niche tries for the sharp angle blast, and that's a kick save by Schubert. Last 90 seconds of the game. We'll keep an eye on Schubert as he may be pulled from his net in the next couple of moments. It's Zach Simbro from square one. Hooks with Carlson, and the net is vacated for the Eels. They get the extra attacker out in the form of Caleb Harrop. Harrop in front of penalty box boards. Tries to blast one on, but that gets taken away in traffic. Final minute of the third period. And the Junior Blades will try to capitalize on that empty net on the other side of the rink. Cartier reassessing the situation near side of the Eels blue line. Goes wide side to Clift. Clift has it picked away by Broadhead. And Cartier finesses it. It gets away to Kaiser. Kaiser scores on the open net. And that'll seal the deal today. The Junior Blades will claim a victory. It's 7-4 with 35 ticks of the clock left. It'll be the Junior Blades' first win of the season against the Eels. And boy, is this absolutely crucial. We mentioned how the Florida Eels are 7-4-3, and the Atlanta Mad Hatters are right behind them in the standings at 6-5-3. So this is a game which will definitely sting on the Florida Eels benches. As for the Blades bench, they're making all kinds of noise, standing up, banging their sticks against the boards. As the Junior Blades will tick out the remaining time in their own ice. We're down to the last 10 seconds of the game. Junior Blades freezing it up out the center. The final seconds wind down, and that is your hockey game. The Florida Eels are upset by the Junior Blades as they win 7-4. They split the weekend on home ice. The Eels go down to a 7-5-3 record, and they will have to see how the Atlanta Mad Hatters fare in their game with the Tampa Bay Juniors later on today. Well, that'll just about do it for us here at Hertz Arena. It's been a very chippy game, so both teams being ordered off of the ice. No stick tap salute across the neutral zone. In a half hour, we will see the start of our Premier Division bout between the Eels and the Junior Blades. But until then, this is Nick Rush giving you the play-by-play, saying thank you so much for tuning in and for making us a part of your Sunday morning. One more time, 7-4, the Junior Blades beat the Eels in the lead action. So long, everybody.